Today we're looking at all of the skills of the monk, seeing them in action and deciding which one is best. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today we're exploring the skills of the monk. We're in the alpha right now, and as it sits, there are 10 skills available for us to choose from, all which can be modified from gear and legendary gems. So really, these skills can change based on how you equip your equipment, how you equip your weapons, and how you slot gems into those weapons. What we're going to be doing is an overview now of the basic skill abilities, what they do, and which ones I think are best. We also have two primary attacks that we're going to be looking at here today as well. I want to remind you guys, if you like Diablo Immortal, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. And if you want to be a bigger part of this community, come through over on my Discord server. It's linked down below, and it's the pinned comment. So the first thing that we're going to test is one of the primary attacks. It's called the Fists of Thunder. Now, it's worth noting I have everything max level right now for the monk, because your skills and your primary attacks upgrade as you upgrade your hero organically. You don't need to choose ones to upgrade along the way. Once you upgrade your hero, your skills will upgrade as well. But you can see the stats right now of Fists of Thunder, and this is going to be the one that we test out first. And this is our primary attack, and Fists of Thunder is just a straight up punching type attack. You'll notice I do have an effect on top of this as well, with a little bit of a lightning happening, which always does help out. But that's the Fists of Thunder. Let's check out the second primary. Our other option is the Deadly Punch. Let's see it in action. Looks like this one has a bit of a swooshing effect, doing a little bit more of an area damage. Of course, you're gonna have to choose which one of these attacks you like better, which one fits your play style better as well. I'm gonna grab these experience globes as they sit here right in front of me and head back and look at some of the skills. Remember, we have 10, but upon release of the game, there are going to be 12. The first skill we're going to be using is Cyclone Strike, and I want to remind you guys that some of these skills are combined together for the most damage. So Cyclone Strike is going to pull all of the enemies together, which you could then pair with another skill or another attack to really do a ton of damage. But let's see what the Cyclone Strike looks like. The Cyclone Strike is going to pull all of your enemies right into you, which then you could combine with another attack, and that would allow you to then do more damage. Next, we're going to look at the Exploding Palm. Notice that some of these have dual charges, so I can use 2 Exploding Palm attacks before it has to recharge, and this is going to add a slowing effect because of one of the elements that I have as well, but really nice splash damage utilizing this skill against multiple enemies. The Flying Kick, I love this one, not only because of the damage that it does, but also how it allows you to evade your enemies. And you should also notice there are 3 charges, and this can be directed in any direction you want. So I could use it to attack, or I could use it to hightail myself out of there and then back on in on the attack, really giving me good movement as the monk. So the Imprisoned Fist is going to attack enemies from a direction that you choose for 2,226, and it's going to immobilize them for 5 seconds. And basically, it's that punch in one direction with an 11-second cooldown. Takes a little bit of time. This one is probably not my favorite out of all of them available. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. We can choose the direction that we use this in. Nice and wide attack, though, so you could take nice bundles of enemies coming at you and get them all in one shot. Next, we're going to take a look at the Inner Sanctuary, which is going to be giving you a protective shield for you and for the people that you're playing with. So this is a great one that you can combine when you're working with friends and playing in a group in your guild. And when you use this skill, you can pair it with some gems or gear that's going to actually allow damage to happen to the enemies. Notice those enemies are taking damage when in this range, which takes a long time to cool down. Mystic Allies is one of my favorite, and I do have a few favorites. By the way, the monk is my favorite character inside Diablo Immortal. This is going to spawn allies to help you fight. Who doesn't want more heroes in the battlefield? Let's just get in there and see what this looks like. So with this, we have a 30-second cooldown, but we get these 2 buddies that are going to come along and help fight the good fight for us. We'll actually take some of this XP as we go, and they just continuously will battle for you. They live for about 10 seconds. Then there's a 20-second cooldown when you don't have any buddies helping you along the way. So I really love this. We've seen something similar with the barbarian class, but with the monk, you're getting 2 allies to fight with you for 10 seconds. And well, then with the 20-second cooldown after they then disappear. And one of my other favorites that I use with the monk is 7-sided strike, which is a really cool looking animation and probably one of the most popular ones. You get it early on in the game, but it's something that you can use all the way to the end game of Diablo Immortal. And you'll notice that my monk will come in from all different directions and attack the enemies with a 10-second cooldown. Really a good skill that the cooldown's not too bad. Sometimes when skills have a crazy long cooldown, I don't see as much value in them, but 10 seconds, we can live with that. Now, Shield of Zen is another shielding mechanism that we're going to have here, which is going to protect you and your allies, similar to what we were seeing from the Inner Sanctuary. But let's see what this one looks like in comparison. I'm going to use the skill. Looks like there's a 12-second countdown. It looks like this one is giving more me a little mini shield than the big shielding area that we got from the other skill that we looked at previously. And there are 2 more that we have to look at to make the final 10, next being the Wave of Light, which is another one that I always have equipped when I'm using my monk. Now, the Wave of Light is another splash damage effect that you can use when you're using that Cyclone. And what this does, it drops a ray of light on top of your enemies. You have 2 uses before you need that cooldown, and the cooldown, again, fairly quick. This is one that you're going to see me using on the regular when I'm playing my monk. 2 drops of that Wave of Light, which I like to call the Liberty Bell. But we have 1 more skill to look at, and then I'm going to put together my favorite set so that you can duplicate it and play with it as well when you get the game. Lastly is the Wave Strike. It's another punch and lunge forward skill that we're going to test right now. You can see if you like it. And sometimes I'll add this one into my skill composition. Other times I'll leave it out. But again, we're going to show you in a moment. This is one that you can direct, and you can just go in any direction you want. Actually, it's not lunging you forward. It's throwing a ball of energy, which is going to do some nice stuff. It's like basically shooting a fireball, except for it's an energy ball. I'm thinking back, I actually like this one. But now what I'm going to do is put together my favorite skill set for my monk, and we're going to go through and beat up some enemies and see how it actually plays in the real game. And here we have it all set up. I'm going in with the Fists of Thunder, the 7-sided strike, as I mentioned it being one of my favorite. We have the Exploding Palm, which because of some of our gear, it's now going to be the Frozen Palm, freezing all the enemies. We're going with the Wave of Light and Mystic Allies. So we're going to jump in, do some battles with this setup, which is one of my favorite right now. Now, obviously, as you get new gear inside of the game, things can change. You may decide that you like something better because maybe you get some effects or some elements that are going to make that actually change how it plays out inside of the game. Like my Exploding Palm is now the Frozen Palm, and I really like how it works that way, slowing the enemies so I can get them done in another way. So here we go. 7-sided strike. We're going to drop the Ray of Light on it, then the Frozen Palm. Works out really nicely. We're going to go with the Ray of Light again, another Frozen Palm, slowing down the enemy, and we're going to keep on spamming the Frozen Palm because it regenerates really quickly, so we're able to do that. But as you can see, combining the skills together is going to give you a really nice way of attacking where you can just use skill after skill. Now I'm going to wait for these guys to all come around. Are they going to come? Are they going to? There we go. We're going to pop in here. We're going to go with the 7-sided strike and the Ray of Light. And that completely cleared that bundle of enemies. But we do have a task ahead of us. Let's go see what this is. Looks like we have to talk to Jen. And we just reached Paragon level 1, so we have some Paragon now available. This is something pretty sweet. We got the Vanquisher. Okay, yeah, there we go. We're gonna learn right here. Let's go. Finally building some Paragon, because while we had the alpha, I did not go in depth with the characters. I got as many of them to max level as I could, and then I kind of decided to instead just go on to another character so we could really take a good look at which each of them are. Now, if you want to come hang out with me, watch me do some rifts and some dungeons like we have right here. Remember, I am live streaming over on Twitch and sometimes even on YouTube. I'll be linking that in the description of this video, but I hope the skills that you saw today for the monk become valuable to you. Maybe they'll become some of the favorites that you use when you do play the game. For me, this is how I like to roll. We have to do other characters as well, other hero builds and skill builds so that you can see exactly what you want to play when you have Diablo Immortal. I'm going to go and create some of those videos right now. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you check out some of these ones before you go. And remember to come back and subscribe for daily Diablo Immortal videos. Thanks, guys. Have a great day and be good.